There's this space in my house that I've been struggling with decor-wise since I moved in. But now I think I have it figured out and I can't wait to share with you guys. So come on in. Okay, so here we are. This little corner of the house that has been giving me so much trouble for so many years. So before I jump into the decor in here now, let me just give you a little bit of backstory with this room. So first, this house, we built it based off of a model house, right? So when I walked into the model house, I completely fell in love and I said, yes, this is the house, this is the one I want. I made some tweaks because how they had the model set up would not have worked for our lifestyle. This room right here in the model house, they had it staged as a library. If you come into this room, there are two entrances. There's one here and then there's one here. In the model house, it was open. So I had to add doors because I knew that this room would also be used as a guest room. I knew that that was the one thing that was certain, that this would be a guest room, but I had no plan. So with that being said, when we first moved into the house, we had a sofa bed and I had a desk in here with the computer. I said this will be the office / guest room. I had some poofs in front of the sofa. And then I changed the desk. I said, instead of a desk, I want to have a table. I have my computer on the table, you know, just kind of trying to figure it out. And when I did that, I wasn't satisfied. So, you know, we just went along with it. In here, there was carpet in here. I cannot stand carpet. I cannot stand it because after a while, it looks worn. It starts to look dirty, dingy. It doesn't give a high-end luxury look or feel. So if I can help it, I avoid carpet at all costs. Then the pandemic hit. We had a pandemic. That's really when like my decor itch really started to rev up. And this was one of the first places I started doing things in. So the first thing I did in here was I ripped up the carpet and we laid this laminate flooring. It came out beautiful. I also did some shelving on this wall. I put all these things up. And when I first did it, I was in love, like, oh my gosh, yes, finally. And I guess it was because it went from what it looked like before to that. And I was just like, okay, yes. But as I got further into, you know, my decor things, I wasn't satisfied with how the space was looking. I was just trying to just do little things to change it up. So I changed out the rug. I decided I was going to remove the shelving on the wall. I'm going to do more shelving. It was just a nonstop, endless, I just couldn't figure it out. And I kept on just putting things in, but not really getting into what the problem was. And really what the problem was me not sitting down, putting any thought into how I wanted the space to look. I was just kind of going on the fly, how I was feeling at the time, not really thinking about how this space was really utilized. And after a while, it just really kind of turned into like a guest room / hangout. And when I say hangout, I really just mean like my oldest, when she comes home from college, like this is her, you know, her spot. So let's get into how I ended up in this space, right? How did I end up picking out the things that I pick now? And I feel like now I'm in a really good space. Even if I decided I wanted to swap out a few pieces here or there, that would really just be like probably a pillow cover or a throw or, you know, a little decor item, but no real major changes in here. Let's start with the sofa, because before we had just a regular sofa. I think I may have gotten it from Rooms to Go. It was like a light blue, almost like an ice blue. But then over time, I was looking at it like it was very traditional. The arms were rolled. I couldn't get myself to really like it, but I didn't change it, or I took my time changing it because it did have a sofa bed. The mattress, believe it or not, in that sofa bed was amazing. And because it was a foam mattress, it didn't have any springs in it. So I felt like, oh my goodness, I had to hold on to it. I did start looking at other sofas and stuff that I like, but of course those prices were ridiculous. Absolutely not. We're not going to do that for this space. This is the Glendale from Serta. This is a convertible sofa. It pulls out and converts very easily. Now, what I did do was I saved the mattress from the other sofa. I got rid of the sofa and I saved the mattress. I was able to find a way to roll it up and store it so that if I needed it, I could have it. So during the holidays, I have what I call seasonal tenants, right? My aunt, my uncle, my godmom, they come over and they're here for an extended period of time. They are older, so I would prefer that they sleep on a mattress opposed to just this right here. It is comfortable, however, not for long term. So when my daughter comes home for the weekend, she can just sleep on it, pull it out, put a sheet, and she's fine. She's 20. When I was looking at this, I was looking at how you convert it, right? And I was looking and I was just like, that's kind of weird, right? But then my creative juices started flowing and I said, oh, you know what? I have a plan for that. Like, I can turn it around. I can put my old mattress on it and really set it up and make it look like a bed. So when I have guests here, this room completely transformed. It goes from we call it a den. I don't know why we call it a den. I don't even know what a den is. I'm calling it this little corner of my house because it has been such a thorn in my side for so long. It completely transforms. And when whoever it is, whatever guest, even though it's, you know, my aunt, my uncle, and they're here all the time, this is almost like a second home to them, I still want them to feel comfortable. I want them to be comfortable. I want them to go to sleep and wake up and not, you know, feel a certain type of way. So when they come, I pull out all the stops. I make the bed the best that I can make it. You know, I set the room up for them so that they can really enjoy their time here. So this sofa right here was not expensive at all. I found it on Amazon. We've had it for a little while now. The issue before, I think, with me trying to change up in here was I didn't change the sofa. I was changing the orientation of the room. I was moving the sofa about, trying to put things like a black throw pillow on it to kind of make the pillows pop, and really was trying to make it more than what it was. It was almost like, for me, putting lipstick on a pig, and it just was not, it wasn't working. So once I finally got that sofa out of here, my juices really started flowing. Above this sofa, I had a mirror. There was like a rectangle mirror here. I don't know why I bought that mirror and put it up here, but I did. It was just up here. Like, you couldn't see yourself in it. It was just a plain black rectangle. And I think that also added to my frustration in here because that was something that I didn't change either. These I found from Amazon, of course. It is like a vinyl material. It comes rolled up. You build a frame. You tuck it in a frame. This is the same photo 2 times. And I find it interesting because they are supposed to be the same, but the variations in the colors are different. But anyway, this right here, I'm okay with it. I like the difference in the colors and stuff. The other thing about this room that absolutely drives me crazy, there's no light fixture in here, right? So I had to get really creative with the lighting. When we first redid the room, I purchased 2 of these. For years, 2 of them were in here. They were facing the sofa like this, right? So those also annoyed me because you had the blue sofa, the black rectangle mirror, and these 2, you know, lights like this. But there's no overhead lighting. I saw a light. I don't know where I saw it, but it was similar to this, but it did one of those, like, it was so structurally beautiful. But of course, when I go look at the price, it's like, yeah, we're not doing that. So how can I make what I already have work? Because I don't hate the lamp. I like the lamp. I like the light that it gives off. I just didn't like it with a twin and how I had it set up in here. We took the lamp and I turned it into the chair. And then I just bought another lamp, just another lamp to put in here. It also gives off good light, but I like the difference. I like the contrast. I like that they aren't the same. I feel that way because for so long I had these 2 lights that were just driving me bananas. I really like what it's giving here. And since we're talking about the light that it's given here, This chair, I have threatened this chair so many times. First of all, it has a twin. When I purchased it, I purchased two. And I think at the time, it was like a trend. When I purchased it, it was also during the pandemic. I don't think I paid attention to the dimensions and stuff. And I think it's because at that time when you were trying to order stuff, things were taking forever to come. So I think I was just so excited that I can order something and it would come in the same year, right? So anyway, I ordered two of these online. They look beautiful. When I got them and I sat in it, I was like, I don't like it. And I don't like it because it's so deep, right? Just have to show. Like, you just, it's not, I don't like to sit in it. It was in here with the blue sofa, and it wasn't working. When we first did the room, like when we pulled up the carpet and everything, I didn't have a plan. I just was doing things. I just was kind of buying things that I saw that I liked, not considering if they went well with the things that I already bought or what I already had. So with all that being said, once I finished doing the room the first time, I think, or the second time, I can't remember now where I'm at with this chair, the room was giving me like a farmhouse feel, and it didn't go with the rest of my house. And I think that's why it irked me so bad. And this chair, or these chairs, because like I said, it was two of them in here, didn't help the situation. I haven't found anything better than it, so I decided to get creative. This right here, it's a throw blanket, right? And if you watch my previous videos, I think my Christmas one, you see that I use throw blankets to go underneath the Christmas tree. So throw blankets, they're like my secret weapon because, in my opinion, they're multi-purpose. You can use them for so many things. I may have seen a chair that looked like this. Like, you can buy a chair that looks like this. It probably costs $1 million. I don't know. Instead of getting rid of the chair, I was like, you know what? Let me just do this because I like the way this looks. And then with a pillow on it, I really liked how that looks. And then you have the light over here, so it's like a little reading corner, like a little reading nook. The rug. This rug in here is rug number 3. The first one I had, I want to say it was like an indoor-outdoor, like a striped rug. It was black and white, and I love black. It's my color. I definitely love black and white stripes. What I found is not all black and white stripes give me that same feeling. Not all of them do. They have to be done a certain type of way. So anyway, the first rug I had in here was the black and white striped rug. We had it in here for a while, and again, those stripes lent to the farmhouse feeling that I didn't want. I changed that. My son got a new rug in his room, so the rug that he had, it was like white with like grayish dots. So I said I will swap the stripes with that in here and see. And I brought it in here. The rug looked like cow spots. I just left it in here for a while because I just couldn't figure out what the issue was with this room. I just couldn't do it. So let's think about having that rug in here with the light blue sofa. And then at some point I said I wanted to put this wallpaper up. Now, I love the wallpaper, so I put it on the wall. But of course, when I put it on the wall with those spots, the cow rug spots, I don't even know how to describe it. It was bad. But I was telling myself it looked nice. I was so wrong. So, like I said, this room, it was like a multi-purpose space, right? So I knew the one consistent thing was it being a guest room. When we first got into this room, the TV, right now where it is, was right here. And then at some point I decided, as a matter of fact, when I pulled up the carpet, it would be a good idea to put the TV right here. So I had my husband mount the TV over here. We had like a little shelf, and the sofa was right here. So why would the sofa be here and the TV be here? And then it's a pullout. So when guests come over, they're sleeping here and watching TV over there. So it was not, in my opinion, it was not functional at all. When I pulled up the carpet, and I kind of glossed over this earlier, I had added some shelves here. There are shelves here now, but what was here before was not what was here. So I think what I did was, because again, it was a pandemic, so the kids were doing remote learning. So I had built a little desktop. I had a cabinet on either side for, them to keep their schoolwork in. And then I had shelves up top, and the shelves was going like all the way up to the ceiling. And these ceilings in here are about 10 feet high. The shelves is just all across the wall. So it didn't look good. It didn't look good. When I first did it, I thought it looked good. So I just kind of left it. So once I decided, and no, I didn't decide. I was scrolling and I came across some shelves, and I was like, oh my God, I love those shelves. The shelves were so much money. And I didn't let them go. Like, I measured for them. I said, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to just go ahead and buy these shelves because I really, really love them. And they were already built. It wasn't something that I put together myself. Like, what was in here before, I did not like. Anyway, make a long story short, in my quest for trying to figure out how I was going to get the shelves that I wanted that were astronomical as far as price is concerned, I stumbled across a cheaper option. These are a little bit shorter, which I'm okay with because I like the fact that I can decorate these shelves and stuff like that without having to pull out a ladder. The shelves that I have here now, I knew I just wanted the two. So the middle would just be, bare. And so I said, you know what? Let's take that opportunity to now mount the TV back over here, because it was over here before. Let's put it over here where it was initially. And then I have like a little cabinet in the middle. I have to say that this is the way it was intended to be, because it's perfect here. I love how this ended up. So for sure, I'm not going to change this setup. I probably will change out decor because that's what I do. I get bored very easily and I swap things out. But this right here is great. And also the other thing, right, with what kind of made this particular change as far as the TV and the shelves necessary is, again, this is, it is a guest room. Among other things, I had a little hanging situation here where I would put hangers and stuff. So when my relatives are in town, they have somewhere to hang their stuff, because this is not a bedroom. It's like I said, the builder's idea was for it to be a library. So there's no closet in here. So I just had like this metal piece here, and this is where guests hung their stuff. But then when I didn't have any guests, I just had this metal piece here, and it didn't look good. So in comes my cabinet, which it doesn't look like a closet or anything, but it is. So, and we'll just, because this is for guests. So imagine having these hangers visible, And then, like I said, my daughter, she's in college. So when she comes home for the weekend and stuff, this is where, this is her hangout. This is where she is. So, she has some place to put her stuff. And again, when my relatives are here for weeks at a time, it's nice to be able to have some place where you can hang your stuff and it's not just out exposed. So moving the TV gave me that, the room to be able to have this and, just kind of make it a little more functional as well as aesthetically pleasing. Now, I know I started talking about the rug and I just kind of went off the rails, but this rug right here is a washable rug. Now, I've heard of washable rugs, and I have seen prices of those rugs, and I was like, yeah, no, washable rug is not for me. And would I ever put a rug in a washing machine, really? Probably not. Anyway, I was looking for a rug for my mom's house, and I came across a rug. It was only $100, and I was like, no, this has to be a scam. It's a washable rug, and it's $100. Like, this is a scam. So I said, you know what? Let's try it. Let's buy it, and let's see. So we got it, and it's great. I will say it's thin, and I guess that's how the washable rugs come, because you have to be able to put it in a washing machine. I'm not an expert at that. You need to have a rug pad underneath it, otherwise it will bunch up. And then when you vacuum, you can't use like a regular vacuum that you plug in. You need one of those cordless ones that doesn't have as much suction power. I also have them with the rug tape taped down on the edges. I have 2 of these in the house. I have one here, and then I have one upstairs in the family room for the kids. So my first time with a washable rug, and it's neutral in color, so I feel like it can go with anything that I decide I might want to do. But right now, like, my heart is content. I really don't have any regrets in here. I don't have any regrets. And usually when I'm done with something, if I don't like it, like, I start having buyer's remorse right away. Like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I need to change this. I need to change that. Like, I'm never completely satisfied. But in here, I'm good. There are a couple of things that I do need to do in the future, and I will. I think another issue for me before with the sofa is I didn't have the right type of throw pillows, right? I always felt like the sofa that was here before just, I don't know, it just wasn't worthy of me decorating, because it was so bad. Like, it was, I don't know, it's just, maybe if that was the only piece of furniture that I had in my house, I probably wouldn't be mad. But then when I look at everything else that I've done in all the other spaces, it just didn't go. And I don't know what I was thinking when I picked it out. Maybe it was the price. Maybe it was the fact that it had the sofa bed. Maybe it was the fact that it had the mattress that was memory foam. I can't really remember. Anyways, this sofa it's deep. It is nice and deep. So I was able to put the same size pillow covers in here that I have in my living room and my family room and my bedroom. Like, I love throw pillows. I love to be able to lay and be comfortable. And also, my new fabric that I am just like in love with is this boucle fabric. Let me bring it up a little bit close so that you can see. There's something about this fabric, and you know, back in the day, I probably would have cringed at it. I really feel like I'm in a really good place with decor and anchoring this space. I can't foresee me making any major changes down the line. My olive tree here, you know, I've talked about him in previous videos. This is Oliver. I'm loving him in here so far. He still doesn't have a pot, so he is back here on a drum, but I don't know that he'll stay here. I kind of miss him in the dining room a little bit. Maybe I'll feel differently as the season starts to change and, you know, I start kind of swapping out some of my seasonal decor pieces. But right now, I'm loving Oliver. He's good right here. So yeah, this is the little corner of my house. It has gone through so many changes over the last several years, and I just wanted to showcase the biggest one of all, because I think we finally arrived at a place of being content in here. If you have any thoughts or any ideas, let me know in the comments. But other than that, thank you for being at home with me, and I'll see you in the next one.